Hey there, internet friends. Welcome to another episode, and the last episode this year of That Nerdy Site Show, weekly podcast where the team members from That Nerdy Site get together to talk about our lives and all of the nerdy things we love about them. I'm your host, Trevor Starkey, and joining me once again, Cameron Abbott. How you doing, Cam?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? As I said, this will be the last episode here of 2023. Obviously, next Monday being Christmas, we're going to sit that one out. And this will basically be the last week of normal stuff that we do on That Nerdy Site, on our podcast feeds and the YouTube channel and stuff. But we might have some other miscellaneous extra things here by year end. But this will be kind of the last week of normal stuff. And then we'll come back sometime in January with our game of the year, movie of the year, other stuff of the year, conversations, and all that stuff. So, yeah, if you like what you hear, please remember to like, subscribe, rate, review, share the podcast everywhere you can, all that fun stuff. Today, we're going to be talking about Cameron has been playing Wizordum and the Infection-Free Zone beta. And then both of us have gotten sucked into a lot of the new Fortnite side games like Lego Fortnite and the racing one and the Fortnite Festival. Cameron hiding his face in shame as someone who has regularly touted that he would never get into Fortnite, has finally gotten super hard into Fortnite. So, it brought me back as well. That's going to be what we chat about today. So Cam, kick me off here with Wizordum. What's this one about?
Yeah. Wizardum's from Apogee Entertainment. It is full disclosure, got access to this because of a PR contact. And it is I've been having a really great time with it. It plays like old school Doom. There's no jumping or anything. You are just zooming and shooting. In this case, you're shooting spells or you have like a mace. Everything is on magical charges, whether it's your mace, you can actually have it's where it's magic and it does way more damage. But there's only a specific number of charges, and once it's out, it's just a standard melee weapon and does a lot less damage. There's fireballs, ice bolts, all sorts of different kind of spells that you have available to you. And it is just going through and clearing out basically. There's a whole lot of demons and goblins and stuff, and you gotta clear them out because basically an army of wizards came to resolve this stuff, and they all got killed. And it's all up to you, the last wizard. And so you are also seeing dead bodies of other wizards that you can scrounge for materials from, because some of them still died with some stuff on them, and so you can scrounge up and they'll have charges for magical abilities, or sometimes you get a new ability from something that they had on them. And it's just kind of a really fun time to just run around and blast a lot of spells and kill a lot of things and, do an old-fashioned fantasy version of a rip and tear.
What is the actual name of this game? Because Wizardum Game does not come up with anything, so they got some SEO problems, I think.
There's a good chance of that. It's called it's Wizord Wizardum.
So Wizardum with a UM instead of OM? Okay.
Yes. It's not like Kingdom, it's Wizardum. I don't know. I don't know why no answers. Could reach out to a PR contact and ask why is it called Wizardum instead of Wizardom.
Yeah, that's just giving me Washington Wizards stuff, so gulp.
That's not great SEO.
I'll take a look at that. All one word, right?
Yeah, all one word.
Okay.
Might say Wizardum Steam.
I mean, yeah, that might help me.
That'll probably pull it up.
We'll see. But
it's early access.
Oh, it's also that's not how wizard. That's not how wizard is spelled.
Oh, sorry. O-O-R-D.
Yeah.
Wizordum.
Okay, you did say it weird, and I was like, "That's a weird way to say it." But the way you said it made it sound like "oh, sword" is in there, like SWORD. But then you were like, "No, it's like wizard, but with a UM," and I was like, "Okay."
It's because I missed the O instead of it that. I messed that up. It should have been. I should have also said there's an O instead of an A.
Well, there we go.
Wizordum.
Now I finally found it. But yes, very fun, confusing SEO. Whatnot.
To be very clear, it's Wizordum.
Yes.
Wizordum.
Yes. By the time this episode goes out, that will be on the in the description and stuff like that, spelled correctly. But yeah, so basically old school like MS DOS Doom
Yeah.
kind of graphical style, but with wizard spells
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
You're flinging spells and hitting with maces instead of going out and shotgunning and pistoling people.
Yeah, what was the game earlier this year? Was it Avernum? Something?
Avernus, yeah.
The game that had like newer graphics, but
Yes.
was like a first person shooter, but with spells.
Yes, that is something that came out earlier this year. I know because Stomach Mike got kind of into it for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Was it Avernus? No, Avernus is the hell from Baldur's Gate.
Oh, okay.
Avernum?
Avernum?
No.
Arcanum?
No, that's a different thing too. Well, fiddlesticks. Game naming is tough, clearly.
There's a lot of games. A lot of games with a lot of names.
I know Brizzy Voices was in it, so I'm just going to like her IMDb to find what I'm thinking of. Yeah. We'll get that here in a second.
But yeah, it's really a lot of fun.
Immortals of Avium.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Wizordum is really a lot of fun. It's just a really great pick up and play. There's not a lot of like nuance to it. It's just there's puzzles and stuff you got to solve. You got to get through this. You got to kill this thing to unlock the thing for this that gets you into this, and it's just very simple, straightforward stuff.
So those replace like the key cards of like old school Doom stuff. Okay,
It's
even you saying like all the other wizards have died, and so you're like picking up the pieces. I was like, that sounds like more story than Doom had, or like the story of Doom was like in the instruction manual or the screen, and it's basically just hell is here and.
Hell's here on Mars.
You're here to kill everything.
Yeah.
Have fun. Okay. Any other like? Is the game fully out on Steam? Is it in early?
It's in early access. Okay. It is in early access, so like there will be things that changed. There was like a balance.
Is it
change.
A full game, or is it like here's like the first few levels of what we're?
It is a quote unquote full game, but there is likely that there will be adding more to it later on. I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, it's pretty short. It's only like a couple levels. There's definitely more to it than that, but things are gonna get fleshed out and built on as they get later into development on it. But as far as early access goes, it's in really good shape.
Okay, and then Infection Free Zone.
So this one, prologue / it's like open beta what got put out. This one is particularly interesting. So I've always had like a concept, and we've talked about this before, of like, to me, like, what is an ideal zombie game? And one of the things that I've always thought would be really cool is if you could drop anywhere in the world. And that's something that Infection Free Zone is trying to actually do. They already have a couple of like set up places that you can start with, but the idea is basically they're Google Mapsing everything in the world as far as like major cities, metropolitan areas, and whatnot. And basically, you can like drop. You're like, I want to be like. I put in like I want Scottsdale, Arizona. Like I want to be located here, and it basically uses like scopes out like the maps and everything on like the local area, and then like creates a zombie survival aspect of it around it. It's pretty neat. I am very much a fan of what I played out of it. The beta / prologue. Is 7 days of the game, like seven of the in-game days, and it is just a lot of top-down survival work. So a lot of like map management, a little bit more RTS style of gameplay. Mm-hmm. But there is the aspect of like, for example, I wanted to like kind of soup up a base a little bit, but I didn't have like a lot of trees around me, so I actually took in
Scottsdale, Arizona, you didn't have a lot of trees?
No, I couldn't drop in Scottsdale.
Okay.
In the future, they're going to let you drop anywhere. In this prologue, there's only like a handful of places you can be.
Gotcha.
This one is in like, I think it was like Cambridge, Massachusetts or something.
It seems like there should be plenty of trees there.
Not like directly around the houses that I was set up at. There were more trees further out, but I didn't want to like send my guys out there and then have them like bring down trees for like a couple of days. Or not a couple of days, but like for the majority of the day. And especially when I had an entire building I could demolish for its materials. And that's what I did. I took apart a grocery store and then just like took the remains of the grocery store and like built walls around like my area. At one point, like we discovered a car And so all of a sudden I can like have my scouts and my parties, like my exploring parties, go out further because now we have a car. And you can like scavenge or like fuel for it, or you can just like find new cars. And by the time day 7 rolled around, I had 2 cars, and I was setting them literally just to like get as many supplies as possible. Because guess what? Cars have trunk spaces, which means you can literally have your party pick up a large, like however much they can carry. They get back to the car, they put it in the trunk, and then they can go back. And so they're, instead of like these long distances traveling back and forth with limited capacity, all of a sudden you have a car and it can do that. That's awesome. There's like watchtowers you can build. You find guns and ammo and stuff in different places. Watchtowers will default to like bows and arrows, which have like infinite ammo, but they're not, obviously not as fast or as devastating to a zombie horde as it kind of moves through. Zombie hordes activate at night and kind of like are more focused at night, and kind of create that kind of cycle on them. What's really cool is like if you're going house to house to like explore and get materials and stuff, sometimes you find a zombie horde sleeping in there, a la like Dying Light, and you have to like clear it out. So
I'm looking at trailers and stuff on the Steam page. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks way more RTS than it looks like a step up from the like zombie mobile games that are always being fed in like mobile apps and stuff.
Yeah, like Plague Inc. or Outbreak. Yeah,
sure.
I play those.
The ones that I'm thinking of are the ones where it's like, oh, this is clearly like this. The actual game looks probably nothing like this, and it's just like a very bad, cheesy trailer kind of thing.
That makes sense. I do not play those ones. I play like Plague Inc. and Outbreak and a few others that are like, those kinds of games focused that are like top-down world maps. I have played quite a bit on, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like I'm looking at an image of like, oh, here's what like Paris looks like, and it's like, oh, it's Paris because it has the Eiffel Tower, I guess. But then it's like clearly way more trees than you would normally have around the Eiffel Tower. So I'm like, okay, I guess that it's the world has already been like reclaimed somewhat.
It has. You stay in a bunker. Like you're basically your people that you're playing came out of a bunker that's been like they've been down there for like 20 years.
Okay. And like when you're like, yeah, you can play anywhere. I'm like, oh, so I could go out to like the middle of nowhere where nobody's ever been and probably not have to deal with any zombies, right? Because why would they be out there? But I imagine the game is going to be like, no, we're going to throw zombie hordes at you wherever you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I would not doubt that'd be the case. The prologue is super like restricted, but it like there's pretty cool. Like I've seen some people where they get like a semi truck that they find and they just go through zombies, like a horde of zombies. It's pretty cool. Like there's really interesting stuff, and I'm really into it because for the first time, it's not an FPS zombie survivor game or a third person shooter. It is something different about zombie survival that I've been of like base building and society building that I've been a bit more fond of and looking for. Like it's not what I necessarily like what I've always dreamed of, but I feel like this is a good step in a good direction for anything for them to be like, hey, let's go ahead and actually like build this out. It's going to be less narrative focused, but it's going to be way more about survival on a mass scale than on a personal scale. And that's something I'm into.
Okay, cool. Any final thoughts there? Do you any sense of like timeline on when that one's going to come out? Out of beta?
It has not necessarily like there has not been a lot of like details about its release. They have the prologue that's available to everybody, but then there is like a beta version of like the full game. But it's just very much I'm trying to pull up the actual Steam page for the actual game. And yeah, it's to be announced.
I just clicked off of that, so
no, it's okay.
I clicked away from it and then asked the question. I was like, oh, I would have had the answer right there. Oops.
Yeah, they're quote unquote in early access, but it's a play test. So it's not an open early access that everybody can play. You can play their like beta, like segmented 7 days version. But it is much more of a like they're treating this like an actual proper like beta testing and alpha testing and like game rollout than you normally see with early access. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, it's just a different way of doing something in a way that's actually fascinating. Yeah, their whole thing is you can play in any like quote unquote city in the world. So using real geographical data. So like if you want your city is like has like a mountain range near it, like say probably Phoenix will have like, you know, the Camelback Mountain on it. That'll be included in that map area. And I think they're still developing that aspect of it. But like it's cool. I dig it. I think it's really, really neat. Also, I like that like zombies aren't a joke. Like a small horde of zombies can overwhelm your camp pretty quickly if you're not prepped for it. So because their zombies are not like the walking like undead rotting zombies, like they're dead people. It's more of a like rage zombie.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like not a fun time to me, but I'm glad you had fun with it. Cool. Yeah. Then let's go ahead and dive into our Fortnite block of stuff here at the end. So yeah, obviously, Fortnite released in the last couple weeks 3 new game modes: Lego Fortnite, Rocket Racing, and Fortnite Festival. Lego Fortnite, basically like their version of Minecraft now, but with Lego figures and Lego-ified stuff.
Which is awesome.
Rocket Racing, a kart racer by the Psyonix team, aka the Rocket League team. And then Fortnite Festival from Harmonix is basically their music rhythm game. Which of those do you want to dive into first?
Let's jump into Festival. I think Festival we can kind of like hit and move on with. Okay. I've spent probably the most amount of time in Festival.
Oh, definitely. I only did like 5 or 6 songs, I think. I did like 4 or 5 like the first night, and I went back and I did like 1 more, I think, after that. And it's just never like I was really into like Guitar Hero and stuff for like a month back around the time probably Guitar Hero 3 came out, and that was just like I borrowed my sister's copies of the game. And then because I was in college and not at college parties where that game was being played when that came out, and so I just never had like a crew of people to play those things with. So they never grabbed me.
I very much did. Guitar Hero Rock Band was big in my circle of friends from high school on. And like really not until like late into the like Rock Band, like I think the last big game that my friends got into was Rock Band Beatles. So like that's how far into the like the saga of rhythm games, like what I was involved with and dealt with. I am I'm just like a pretty big music guy as far as like between me and an average person, I probably listen to a lot more music than the average person.
I'm surprised like you got into Rock Band Beatles given your
I never got into Rock Band Beatles. No. Okay. My friends did. They're like, we're playing Rock Band Beatles, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. That's when all my friends found out that I don't like the Beatles, and it caused problems for some people.
It's okay. You have terrible taste, whatever. I mean, you do. Regardless of this conversation, you have plenty of terrible tasty things.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to think it's more eclectic, but that's fair.
It's not eclectic to not like the Beatles.
Oh no, the Beatles. My thing with the Beatles has always been the Beatles.
You
like,
damn hipster.
No, by the time I listened to the Beatles, I had found like people were like, well, the Beatles innovated this or they did this, and it's like, yeah, but I didn't listen to them first. I listened to other bands that learned from those, like learned those things and then applied them in their own way, and I like the way they do them better. And so like Beatles has always been very like, and I'm going to use this term because you could call it foundational. Or you could also use another term for that, which is basic. And I don't mean that in like a negative connotation. It just is, I was introduced to more like the things that had been built upon it. Like say with Queen, like a lot of the things that the Beatles started or innovated and made foundational, Queen, I feel like perfected. And I just think that that's like, if you love the Beatles, that's totally fair.
You can like Queen and still also like the Beatles, though, is what I would argue.
Yeah, but I just think anyway, at this,
like, it's the fact that you don't like the Beatles. Like you could like them just, and it's because I like what it sounds like to me is that it's not even like Breath of the Wild is a 7. It's fine. It's a fine game. You love Breath of the Wild, cool, whatever. Like it sounds like you're not even there with the Beatles.
I'm kind of there. Here's the thing. I know people who love the Beatles, and I love that they love the Beatles, but it's not what I spend my time listening to. And I think that if you love it, that's fair. But like, just because if it comes on the radio, actually, if it comes on the radio, I'll change the station. But if I'm in like a store and the Beatles come on, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the Beatles are on. Or if I have friends who were listening to a mix and they have a Beatles song come on, I'm not going to like flip out over it. It's just, I prefer to listen to other things.
Sure. I mean, like for me, even bands I don't like, if it's on the radio, I'm not likely going to change like the radio station because I don't drive enough anyway, but
you barely drive these days.
Yeah. There are plenty of times I leave like whatever 104.7 and blah 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 is on. I'm like, I don't know what most of these bands and songs are, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't go out of my way to listen to the Beatles on a regular basis anyway. But it's just you are the person more than anybody I know who's like, the Beatles aren't great or the Beatles aren't all that. It's like, all right, man, that's definitely a take.
People just act like their shit don't stink, but everybody knows everybody's shit stinks.
Okay. Anyway, Fortnite Festival.
Yeah, Fortnite Festival. I freaking love Fortnite Festival. I told you earlier, I was like lamenting. I was like, I'm trying to beat Joey Noel's score on some of these songs. Because all of a sudden Joey Noel shot up in all like these like different songs on my ranking chart. And she and I play at we both play at like the like medium like difficulty level.
Mm-hmm.
I have some people who are like have like the X, they're on playing expert, and like they have like scores that are way higher.
Yeah.
And it's like, because that's how that is and that's how that works. I like that I get to see like but it also motivated me to get out of easy on top of that. Like, oh yeah, no, I see other people are doing medium. I can try medium. Medium's like sufficiently like I'm good enough at it that I'm doing well, but like it helps like seeing where you're at with people. So Joey Noel was just better than me at a lot of songs, and so I redid them over and over again. Now I have a better score than she does. And now I'm working on Brawl 96, who's a friend who I used to do a lot of Destiny with, who does music, like does festival a lot apparently. And I've just been trying to keep up with that and just having a great time with it. It's just been a ton of fun.
And you're just playing like the stock setup.
Yep. I'm not paying like, first off, also I found out 500 V-Bucks is like $8 or $9 now.
That seems high.
Maybe I misread something somewhere, but it seemed like it was really high. And I'm like, that is gross.
Because, yeah, I think that's like $250. I don't know. How much is a V-Buck? Is a V-Buck?
Sorry, 1,000 V-Bucks is $8.99.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So $4.
So $4.
$4.50 or something.
$4.50, somewhere right in that range. I'm not paying that much money for a song.
Yeah, no.
iTunes doesn't charge you that much money for a song.
I mean, yeah, I guess. How much were they in like the individual tracks?
Oh, they're like 500 V-Bucks a track.
No, I know that. I'm saying like back in the Rock Band and Guitar Hero days, how much was it for like the individual tracks?
I don't recall because they sold them all as packs.
Yeah, and I guess I'm more thinking like the reboot that they tried to do of Guitar Hero and Rock Band that like failed miserably because they were like, hey, we're gonna do subscription-y servicey things or whatever.
And people just weren't about it.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, this should do really well in a games as service era. And it's like, no.
It definitely, like, I looked, I was like, 500 V-Bucks, yeah, that seems like a lot for a song. And sure, you get that song, that you can then play with as long as whatever their licensing holds out, I guess. But, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's, I've just been playing whatever featured songs are available. Which is great because there's a weekly challenge or a daily challenge of going through X number of like featured tracks and then a weekly one of featured tracks. And so I'm always hitting that.
Yeah.
I've gained a tremendous amount of experience for my my free battle pass by doing this. So yeah, it's just been a really, really fun time. I also like the way they're doing the free battle pass now, where you like as you level up, you just unlock stars, and so you just unlock what you want.
Oh, it's been like that for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not since I played last time.
I mean, I know, yes, because last time you did was what, like 2017,
like when the
something
Switch
that?
the Switch one launched, because I was like, I'll get into Fortnite on the Switch,
Yeah.
and then people are like, we stopped playing it on the Switch because we want to get better at it. It's like, okay, I'm good. Also, I unlocked the one thing that I wanted out of it. The one thing that I was like, ooh, I really want that. It's the only thing that's ever happened, and it's the skin I use for everything. Fox mask with the hoodie that's like neon the hell out. Fucking so good.
Yeah.
Such a good outfit. Even the Lego looks sick as hell.
Mm-hmm. And you rock out with that guy in your Fortnite
festival?
Yeah,
because when the fire erupts out of me when I'm like rocking it with like the six times combo, just I'm just streaking through that. Like I'm just on fire. Also, I love it because then it'll break for a second and I get to do like one of the cool older emotes that I have that nobody uses.
Sure, yeah.
Like I have the "You're Awesome" dance that nobody has. Like I just use it sometimes. But yeah, there's that. I've just been doing that, and it's just been a lot of fun. I've not played with anybody else. I've just been doing it on my own.
Yeah.
Normally because I'm doing it like 10 o'clock at night.
What instruments are you gravitating towards?
All of them, because there's a challenge that to use all of them for a number of tracks, and lead guitar is where I've been spending most of my time because that's where everybody's scores are at. Everybody else is doing it, so that's where their scores are on. But I like I as a person who used to play bass guitar, there's affinity for me to be like, yeah, my guy's also a bass player. That was always a thing. But but also because like I love, one of the reasons I love playing bass guitar or when I used to play bass guitar, why I loved it was I liked the way a bass guitar, like the rhythm through a song goes when you're playing bass guitar is different than I have a more natural ear now. Even though I stopped playing, I still have a more natural ear to listen to the like bass parts of songs. And it's still like I usually listen to a song like music with a hell of a lot of bass. Where a lot of bass is very much at the forefront of the music. And so so I love playing those parts, but guitar is where most people are playing, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I said, I hopped in. I didn't realize at the time that you could change the control scheme, so I was very much like, I don't like this left, right, square, and circle because I'm playing on PlayStation, obviously. I was like, this feels bad compared to like any other control. Admittedly, like, yeah, it's definitely not the guitar controllers and stuff like that, but finding out after the fact of like, oh yeah, you can switch it to like, the triggers and the bumpers, or you can do like left and up and triangle and circle. I was like, oh, those would probably make way more sense to me because it just wasn't, my brain wasn't liking that. And also, I mean, like, I think I probably only played like the lead guitar stuff, and maybe it's because I'm too much of a drummer, but it definitely felt like I wasn't pushing the button on the or it felt like the prompts weren't coming up in the right places on the track.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt like they were off, even though I did the syncing of whatever. So yeah, it was never going to be my cup of tea anyway. And the fact that I know almost none of the songs certainly didn't help.
For sure. Yeah.
So I was like, a couple of these, I guess I kind of recognize. And I never left easy. I was like, I'm going to do easy. The first time I did it, especially, I was like, I can't wrap my head around these controls and the buttons. And so when it would be like, okay, we're going to switch from you doing like right and circle to left and square, I was like, I don't my buttons fit. How do things work? And I just botched any kind of like chains that I had going there. By the time like the third or fourth song came around, I ended up getting like a 100% notes thing. But it still wasn't a fun time. And also like the first time playing, I also did not do the bonus boost thing at all? Like your
The trigger boost, yeah.
yeah. I was like, and or until like the end of the song, I was like, that was when I finally saw like the little note of like press R2 to boost or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, oh right, that's a thing these games have. Duh. And then I had an issue doing it. And I guess it's maybe because I got like spoiled by the whammy bar of the actual like guitar controllers, where like you can do that without
It is missed.
messing up a controller or missing a button prompt or something like that. This, it was like, okay, if I got to hit R2, I don't want to like will that count for, if I hit R2 on the circle, will that count as like a thing, or do I just need to like tap it whenever? I was not having a fun time with the controls there. And it was like, also it was very weird that like it was the only one that didn't tutorialize you. I was like, tell us what the mechanics are, or like ease me into this thing. And yeah, so I was not a Fortnite Festival fan, and I have no real interest in going back to it at all.
Yeah, I just fell really into it, and I've just been enjoying the hell out of it. It's just, it's fun. It's fun to fight, like play against everybody's high scores. It's fun to, like they threw Mr. Brightside in there, and so like I play the hell out of that whenever it's on the featured list. But also it's just like, it's cool to see other songs that I'm not too familiar with that I know are popular right now, and kind of getting introduced to those a little bit. Also they have put on like Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish and a lot of like really fun songs from those, like especially from those two. Bad Guy is super fun on if you're playing bass. It's so much, or doing drums. It's super fun with that. And Vampire has so many slow parts, or has a few slow parts that are interjected with these long, like frantic parts. And so there's like a lot of like long hold notes and like a lot of like quick half notes that you just play with. And it's a lot of fun.
There was like one moment in there where I was like, oh, I finally feel like I've hit that like trance of like, yep, I'm hitting the buttons right. And then like, as soon as I got off that though, it was like I fell down a flight of stairs.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, this is not a fun feeling."
Yeah, especially when you're into a part of you're like, I'm really feeling this new song, and then you get to a part where there's like some complexity to the button prompts, and you're like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's switch over to rocket racing. I'll start this one. So rocket racing, I hopped in, checked out. I actively sought out the tutorial on this one, was like, okay, like what are the controls? What is this racer going to be like? And kind of did the tutorial. It was very helpful because it's like, okay, yep, it's Rocket League, but I haven't played Rocket League since like 2015. It was like kind of reacquainting with the boost and stuff. I like that this has the extra mechanic of like, you can like do the air dodge, which can go to a different, dimension if you want. Like if you can air dodge to a side of a wall or to the ceiling kind of thing. And having fun with that. And then like the first night I played, I went through, did like the bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3, got up to silver 1. I haven't played a ton since. I've like hopped in kind of like a race here and there since. And so I think I'm only up, I think I'm like halfway through silver 2 right now. Because it just the Lego Fortnite's the thing that has grabbed me, but it's definitely a lot of fun. I felt through all of the bronze, I was getting first place every race kind of thing, and I was like feeling good about it. The one of the last races I had in like silver 2 was like there were 6 human players and 6 bots, and I felt like I was doing good on the track. I had like. Basically, I was like maximizing my drifting and boosting and stuff like that. And then like right in like the last 10 seconds of the race, the other 5 people all passed by me, and I just like got just knocked down to 6th at the end. I was like, well, I've reached the point where I'm bad at this game now, so I don't know if I'm gonna have any interest in really sticking around with this. But yeah, definitely fun. It's like. I do find myself, for a kart racer, wishing that there were some kind of item stuff, and I imagine that's a thing that will probably get added in because
I'm sure.
Like this definitely seems like a game that will fully embrace that aspect of kart racer stuff, and I think that could be fun and a way to, make this not just about how good are you at drifting and stuff like that. You don't need to do like rubber banding and stuff like Mario Kart does, but creating some kind of like equalizer in terms of combat stuff.
Yeah.
I hope they bring something into the fold on that front. But yeah, on that, just fun kart racer. Anything to add?
You actually kind of hit everything I was gonna say. I will say I really just enjoyed that there is this aspect to, and I think this is a good segue into talking about Lego Fortnite. I am very impressed with the way that Fortnite has evolved into a platform rather than just a singular game mode. The way that they've kind of like it, I felt like anytime somebody's like, there's a new mode in Fortnite, and it's just like a different kind of battle royale, or it's a different thing like that's like this, and it's like that's super uninteresting. And then all at once they drop three that really grabbed me.
Yeah, I mean the last big one was probably the zero build mode when they introduced that and then made that permanent.
Let's talk about zero build mode because Trevor, I've been playing zero build mode.
I didn't know you'd actually been playing like Fortnite.
I started last night at like 2 a.m.
Okay.
And I not that late. It was like 11 or 12, but I played for a couple hours and really enjoyed it. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, wow, okay. Like the things that I didn't like about guns is like kind of not here as much. Like, I still have issues with like the labeling and like other stuff that's going on with these guns right now, but for the most part, like I feel like everything's like bullet tracking is a lot better. Maybe it's because I'm not playing it on the Switch.
I mean, that's definitely part of it, yeah.
But also just like I really dig zero build mode because there's just not a lot of let's use the term that needs to be used for it. There's not a lot of bullshit. There's not a lot of like just all of a sudden I'm 1 second away from blowing somebody's head off, and all of a sudden I put a wall in front of you and it's brick and you can't get through it. It's like there's like I feel like things are more just like easily destructive now. Maybe. Anyway, I've just been really enjoying it. I especially like that there's a train that you can land on now and like go through the map. Also, like I'm not playing competitive mode. I'm like, oh wow, it's all these super hyper competitive people who are like super really good at the game are playing it on competitive mode. Mm-hmm. And I'm playing it on just like the non-competitive mode. And so it's just like a lot of just like people running around and not knowing how to use cover fire, like just standing out there shooting at me. And
there are also lots of bots in
Zero. Oh, is that what it is now?
Yeah, I mean, like especially like the first couple of games you played, you were probably the only real person in the game.
I thought that, but then it was people were doing like hiding and stuff. I don't know if that's the case.
I mean, like the AI is not completely dumb. They do have different degrees of AI. But
well, now they have like where like there's bounties and stuff. So like NPC bots will pop up and you can kill those guys.
Yep.
There's gold. I don't know what gold is used for at this point, but I have a lot of it.
You can usually find like NPCs or like vending machines and buy things from. I mean, I've not hopped into zero build mode in this mode. I haven't played like zero build since probably like May. Is the last time I was really in Fortnite, or in that version of Fortnite. But yeah, that's typically what it is. Is you're getting gold, and you can go to a vending machine, buy guns, you can buy ammunition,
cool.
Stuff like that, or like NPCs around. Like you can hire an NPC to like follow you along. Some of them will do that. Basically, you have like another person shooting at stuff with you, a la what you can do in Lego Fortnite and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that kind of functionality. That's what the gold will typically do for you. That's hilarious that you've hopped in and been playing like actual Fortnite. I mean zero build mode. Like as soon as zero build mode came in, I never went back to the other mode. There was one time like I accidentally got loaded into regular build mode Fortnite, and man, it like the problem I ran into was I had configured my controls so that I don't remember what it was, but I think like, I will, like if I push down a button, that's going to be able to run or something like that.
And just you build
and
instead?
it started like I hit something that like normally I didn't need to worry about because it'd be like there's no build mode in this thing. Yeah, it might have been that. It might have been like, oh, I set build mode to the left trigger or left thumbstick press, because if I accidentally hit that while I'm running, I don't suddenly go into the build menu or something like that. But in build mode, I did, and I was like, how do I get out of this? Ah, crap! But I did manage to like. I remember like being very proud when I like accidentally won the one random build mode game I jumped back into like a year ago or something. But yeah, no build mode or zero build is definitely the way to go for me because I'm too old to have the patience to learn all the building tricks, and especially playing on console, it's like significantly tougher to do the build stuff without mouse and keyboard. So, yeah, it more like levels the playing field. I would absolutely love if there were a way that the game didn't match me up with mouse and keyboard people because they will eat my lunch 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
But if I'm on there with only other console people, I feel like I'm decent. Yeah, I've not jumped into the map, so I don't know. I've seen the train, I guess, but I've not done anything with it. Yeah. What I don't know, like I don't even know if there's like a gimmick for like what the new weapons or what the new vibe is for this season.
The new vibe is vengeance.
Okay.
Apparently the Banana Man got kidnapped, and the mascot for Fortnite is angry, and so he's on a path of vengeance against a secret society. But the secret society sent this furry after him. And this furry is like a tiger, and he's like, I'm the hunter.
Oh, yeah, I've unlocked the tiger and the Vengeance Jonesy, I think, in the battle pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's them. That's the whole thing.
The Tony the Tiger looking guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tony Tiger looking ass motherfucker.
I've got them in Lego mode too.
Nice. But yeah, no, I was just like, Vengeance Jones. I was like, man, I wonder what he's like avenging. And it's like, oh, they kidnapped the Banana Man. I'm like, okay, this is why I don't pay attention to Fortnite lore.
I mean, they've done like there was a big. I remember like I want to say the Russo brothers came in and like directed a Fortnite trailer
Gross.
a few seasons back or something like that, and like they just straight up killed Peely the Banana Man.
Okay.
He got like mowed down or whatever by like the Predator or something like that. Like definitely one of the like it was one of those like IP tie-ins. Oh, they just completely like splattered him and like Jonesy or whoever would just had like banana slush on them after that. I was like, oh, it's dark.
Ooh, shout out to the kegs of Slurp that I find.
Yeah.
And hit those with my my scythe a couple of times, and all of a sudden I get free shield. It's sick.
Yep, that's what those are there for.
Pretty cool. Really good improvements overall to the game, I think, as far as its like shooter capabilities go. And I dig it. It's been super fun. I will probably keep playing it when I because sometimes I was like, I just want to shoot something, but I don't want to like load up another game to shoot something. But I was loath to like break down and play zero build mode.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, fuck it. Let's like I was just like, fuck it, we roll. And I was just like in on it. And it's like, okay, cool. It was fun. It went really quickly, which is nice. I remember Fortnite games in build mode taking fucking forever. And so.
Did you win any of your games?
No. I mean, I came in, I've not gotten anything outside of top 5.
Okay.
And this is why I'm like, I think this might be real people, not just bots, because like they're doing some like wacky shit.
Wait, sorry, you haven't gotten in top 5?
No, I've only been in top 5. I've never
been
been outside of the top 5.
Okay, yeah. I mean that like there might be it does the same thing that like the Rocket Racing did of like, okay, the first game you're in there, you're going to be like the only one in there, and against a bunch of bots, but some of the bots are, on a, expert difficulty or something like that. And then they kind of like as you get more comfortable and more in it, they start funneling in more human players alongside you kind of thing.
Well, for me, it's I kind of picked up. I was like, if they are like basic Fortnite things, I think that those are probably like there's a good chance those are bots. But if they're like Omni-Man or
no, they can be
Omni-Man could be a bot.
Yep.
Omni-Man sniped me in the final 2 of my last game.
I mean that Omni-Man might not have been a bot, but Yeah, they can be. They can.
Well, he also did
They have the full spectrum of outfits with them.
yeah. He also in the in the load up like area, he and I both did the same emote at each other.
I mean, there's still going to be like 100 of you in Omni-Man. I imagine there are a lot of Omni-Men in there.
Good chance of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been digging that. It's a bit. It's like nobody's more surprised than me that I'm enjoying my time in Fortnite.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now into the thing that actually got it.
Yeah, the thing that hooked both of us into Fortnite the last week or two, Lego Fortnite. Unsurprisingly, the Lego guy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump in and check that out." Oh, it's a Minecraft like? Well, I'll see what that's like. I'm not typically like I never got into Minecraft. I'm not typically a big survival person, and admittedly, like the survival things of Lego Fortnite are definitely still the things I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I got to keep maintaining my food and energy. Well, I guess not energy levels, but like, yeah, just I gotta eat something every few minutes, even if I'm at full health. But what I really have appreciated more so about this compared to like my understanding of Minecraft is like, oh, I'm constantly building towards something. Like, okay, the first thing you do, you go, you set down a village, and you're working to build that village up so you can recruit people. You're building shacks, and you're going to get wood and granite and then food and stuff. And so you're going to slowly but surely go from like level 1 to level 10 of your little village. In doing so, you're going to need to go to other places to, pick up the green tier of materials and then the blue tier of materials and stuff.
I don't know if Minecraft is as structured as Lego Fortnite.
That's
is
what I'm
these
saying.
Days,
like Minecraft is not and maybe they've changed Minecraft, but my understanding of Minecraft was always like you drop in the world and you have to find you have to find wood, you have to find bricks, you build a crafting table. And there you go. There might be, I think now there's like recipes and stuff on the crafting table, but it's still more like, hey, build whatever you want to build. It's not like this is, okay, yeah, build your stuff. And then here are the materials you're going to need to upgrade to level 2. Here are the materials you're going to need to upgrade to level 3. Or here's the materials you need to upgrade your crafting bench so you can get new, better axes and better pickaxes and stuff. So yeah, I've very much been enjoying that. I dropped into a like a nice little grasslandy area, and I went and did some cave diving and spelunking and stuff, and then eventually I found the desert biome in my game, and would get in the habit of like trekking back and forth between my grassland biome and my desert biome, and now I have both of those villages up to level 10 kind of maxed out, and so
that's sick.
I'm on my way now to start, or I have started a village in an ice biome, and that's kind of the next thing to do, but I needed like as you kind of level up, progress through the stuff, you get more access to more materials, you open up more recipes, and so now I have recipes for a charm that will keep me from freezing to death, basically.
That sounds rad.
Yeah. Similarly, like you'll get charms that will keep you from like overheating in the desert areas.
Yeah, I need to make one of those.
My favorite thing right now that I got is I got a charm that it's a regeneration charm that basically slowly regenerates health over time. So even if I'm in like a dungeon where I'm too hot to be in this cave or something, it's a lava cave, so I'm constantly like losing a little bit of health from that. I can down a slushy basically or something like a snowberry slushy that prevents me from like losing the health outright, and I'll just slowly regain it. Having fun with that. I got a glider, so that makes getting around a lot easier. Like I like that also they give you like starter blueprints. You can definitely kind of go off and do your own crazy cool designs and stuff, but I like it's like, okay, here's a starter design for a shack.
Yes.
And it's going to be 6 different phases, and you just need to pull your stuff. You have all the wood and granite or whatever you need. Okay, just go ahead and highlight the floorboard piece, lay it down, gets built all Lego-ified. All right, now go to the next section. Okay, add your 2 walls. Okay, great. Now add your little, archway. Okay, great. Now add a roof. Okay, and add a little, angled roof kind of thing. Cool, you're done. I like that it has like starter stuff. I did the last one I did was like the one you get for maxing out a level 10 grassland place, which is like a big it's like a 4-bedroom house kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's 4-bedroom 2-story house, something like that. And it was like 200 plus granite and 40 wood and something like that. And I was like, all right, yep. I built that out, and just finishing the first floor of it got my desert village to the level I needed it at to be level 10 and upgrade it there. But then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna finish it too. Doesn't have anything in it. I've seen the stuff you've been building.
Yes.
You've built a far more like cohesive like community thing.
Yes.
I just plop things down when I need to increase my ranking, stuff like that.
Yeah, for me, it's been way more about like naturally building out with my people and everything, and oh, I unlocked a new thing. Cool. I have to do something to make this thing and put it together. Oh, I need to get those resources. Okay. Just recently, I built out this, and I've really started to invest in making a desert village now. I have one resident. It's the T-Rex guy.
Nice.
It's very cool. He's very cool. He has a spear instead of a sword when he kills things, like the bone guys, the skeleton guys when they pop up, which is cool. A lot of just fun, interesting stuff that I am really I just build out based off that. I actually tried to. I only wanted to have a small area, the circumference of my area.
Mm-hmm.
Or the radius, the whole area around it, I wanted to be very small, but I wanted to build up, but they don't let you do that, which is a little disappointing because I wanted to build these massive towers that are built out of it, so it's everybody lives in a single tower, and then build out from there to try to bridge between my different towers later on. I had a whole game plan for the end of it.
Okay.
Because that's some things that I enjoy doing in Minecraft. And I was like, yeah, you can do that in Minecraft. And I was like, they don't let you do that here.
You might be able to do something like that.
No, because this is the problem. When you want to build a shack or a house or something, there's that massive block underneath that takes up space.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is you'd have to do custom stuff, not that kind of design thing.
Yeah,
or
that's too much work.
You could. So I've seen people being like, oh yeah, you could you can stack storage bins, and what they do is they put a storage bin down, then they put on top of the storage bin a flat bit of floor, then they put another storage bin on top of that, and then they hack the floor in between the two, and so the top storage bin just falls on top of it. So it still can be moved kind of thing, but now it's stacked, and because otherwise the system isn't oh yeah, you can't snap on top of that or something like that. But yeah, people are finding kind of workarounds for those kinds of things. What I want to ask you about, have you gone to the end of the rainbow in any of the in the game?
Tried to, but
it turned to night before you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you do, there's a little treasure at the end of the rainbow for you, if you can make it there. So I've done that a few times, but I've also run into that of okay, yep, it definitely came out here too late in the day and it's too far away. I'm not going to get to it. Or I'll almost get there and then it goes to night and the thing disappears and I'm dang it. I'm trying to think what other. Have you managed to take out any of the big brute enemies yet?
Not yet. Been staying away from them. I took out some of the higher end wolf enemies.
Yeah,
that should have been in the desert. Yeah. I was able to take them out. I have just recently gotten a blue recurve bow.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm working on I have that now, so I can use that against I might take on one of them to try it out because I need brute scales to upgrade my.
Yeah, I will say. The easier thing to do will be you'll eventually start finding brute scales in chests in caves and stuff.
Gotcha.
And that's where I've gotten most of mine from. I have taken out one of the brutes, but as I took it out, something else hit me and killed me. It's damn it. So then I had to go and go reclaim all my stuff again. But yeah, they're still super tough. So, and that's like I've got blue swords and stuff now as well,
Yes.
and also I've got it's basically like an essence table, and basically you put with items and weapons, so like your pickaxes, your axes, your swords, stuff like that, you can add up to 3 like improvements to it. So you can increase durability, you can increase damage, you can increase the health that you have with, or the chance of the enemy you kill dropping health things for you or something like that. So even with like super buffed up stuff, they still pack quite a punch. So it's like okay, yeah, I'm not like, the thing that I ended up killing it mostly with was just chucking dynamite at it. I want to say like I threw probably 15 sticks of dynamite at a thing to like get its health down to a manageable point. But yeah, definitely, those are definitely still beefy tough stuff, and there are stronger variants of those as well. But I'll say, if you're low on like axes and stuff and you can dodge, which I know you can do because of Elden Ring.
I dodge all the time.
They make a good like you can use them to like clear out trees and rocks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
dodge away from them and then just go pick up all
yeah,
the
I've been
stuff.
using the roller guys.
Yep,
to do that with.
Have you done anything with shields yet?
Oh yeah, I have a couple of shields.
Okay. If you block a roly guy coming at you, it'll stun him, and then you can.
Oh yeah, no, I've done that with them too. Okay. But if I'm like, oh, I want this thing, and I hear the, I'm like, get out of the way. Yep. It clears it out for me.
Yep. Do you have? Are you running around with like a buddy?
No. I rode solo.
Okay. It's nice for me. It ends up being, especially like in the caves, it ends up being nice because they'll hold a torch while I mine the stuff, so I can still see what I'm trying to do.
Oh, I just keep a torch in my offhand.
Oh, okay.
Instead of a shield.
Yeah.
Because they're just skeletons, and they're like their move sets are easy to dodge.
It depends. Yeah. Later caves have tougher enemies and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Or the lava caves in particular, skeletons start having dynamite to throw at you.
Oh, I encountered that.
Okay, yeah, they will very easily, very quickly kill you if you are not paying enough attention or get hit by 2 sticks of dynamite at once. So yeah, that's so even there, it's like nice having. For me, it's like the bright bomber character. She runs with me and basically like she'll go off and start attacking things so I can keep mining or prep and switch to combat mode kind of thing. Yeah. Any favorite bits or favorite moments or anything you're having? Have you where are you at in regards to a glider? I guess you're probably still not glider, right? Because you just got to desert stuff.
I have everything I need to now make a glider.
Okay.
I unlocked the loom. I had the loom unlocked, but I had to go find stuff for it.
Yeah.
I finally have everything for it, but I'm not at my main village, and so I want to go back to my main village to make the loom with all the other stuff that I have there.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm kind of in the middle of doing right now.
I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm going to just do a couple supply runs between my 2 places where I'm going to take stuff that like my main village has that my desert village doesn't have. And then I'm going to take stuff that my desert village has back over to my main village to kind of beef up if I'm there, because my main village is basically like my centralized location. Because it's basically in between the ice and desert stuff. So
mine is not. Mine is way further south than both of those.
Yeah.
It's a pain.
Yeah, I mean, so then it kind of turns into a point of like, okay, at what point? Like, I did have a stopgap village on my way to the desert village, that kind of worked to be like, okay, here's the midway point. I'm going to just take stuff here, and then it's it's a quick, easier thing, and then I'm just going to go back, grab more good stuff from the desert village, and then bring it here, and then do the full trip kind of thing. But it was also like on my way, I was like, there is so much damn corn there, because it was like just 100 like
Stalks of
stalks of
corn.
corn,
Sick.
around a little lake bed kind of thing. And I was like, all right, yeah, I will set up something here because this place has food, and I'll never have to worry about that.
Yep.
And it also had like plenty of trees around and stuff like that. So it was a nice like grassland location. Um, yeah, it's I'm having a fun time with it. The thing that I probably like the most is somebody who put far more time into Fortnite than you had, and picked up a whole bunch of skins over the years. They like I think they said like 1,200 skins have Legoified versions of them, including many of the ones that I had. So, like I said to you, I was like, I'm, running around as Boba Fett, or I'm running around as Luke or Han. I imagine at some point, since there is a Lego minifigure for Aloy, I'll be able to run around as Aloy or something like that.
Hmm.
There are also a lot where it's like, it kind of looks like the character, but there will be like a thing in the bottom left that says like a better version of this Lego minifigure is coming down the line, kind of thing. So I think they're going to get way more into the design of a lot of those things. But yeah, it's a nice, just, I like that I didn't have to like suddenly go out and get a whole bunch of like new figures if I want to be playing around with that kind of stuff.
I just like
Again,
my one.
completely optional, arbitrary thing, but still fun. Anything else that you want to talk about here?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I've just been having a blast with it. It's definitely the biggest surprise for me this year.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when I think that like, there's going to be a game that kind of like disrupts my top 10 list, this won't disrupt it. Obviously, it's an ongoing game, but yeah, it is. It's surprising that this is the thing that I'm most invested in at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I mean, yeah. For me, it's I'm hopping a lot between Lego Fortnite and my honor mode run of Baldur's Gate 3. Um, uh, so yeah, it's if Lego Fortnite had not come out, I'd probably be done with my honor mode run. But yeah, it ends up being like a nice change of pace for the two, where it's like, okay, I don't really feel like doing that big boss fight in Baldur's Gate yet. So I'm gonna switch over to do some Lego Fortnite stuff for a little while and just kind of like
mhm.
turn my brain off a little bit, podcast, whatever, or like listen to podcasts and stuff. But yeah, having a fun old time with it. So I'm glad you are as well. At some point, yeah, we keep talking about like, oh yeah, let's hop in and like check out each other's worlds or something like that. But I've also just been like, I'm perfectly fine to just enjoy my my time in here solo. So yeah, cool. Well, all right. I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks, Cam, for chatting all these games with me. You can follow Cameron at Rev Cabot, 2 B's and 2 T's. Anything you want to give a shout out to there, Cam?
Yeah, give a massive shout out to just all the different outlets and everyone who's doing Game of the Year stuff. It's the time of it. 'Tis the season. I know I have to catch up on Giant Bomb Game of the Year stuff that they do, that they've done. And yeah, just like if you have an interest in any games that you already know, top 10 of the year is coming out for most places, but we are also going to be having one later. We'll have ours coming out in the new year. Trevor mentioned at the top of the show, this is our last proper That Nerdy Site show for the year. We have one more That D Plus show, and then we're kind of on break for a while we it's the holiday season. So also want to say and give a massive shout out to every one of you listening. Want to wish you a Merry Christmas, just happy holidays in general, and yeah, thanks so much for listening. It's always a pleasure to be able to sit down with Trevor and do this. So
Cool. You can follow me at Trevor J Starkey. Yeah, including this will be our last That Nerdy Site show. Fridays, That D Plus show on Ernest Saves Christmas, which will be episode 200 of That D Plus show. Will also be our last one of those for the year. If you didn't catch it, last week we did Iron Man 3 for our holiday season stuff funness. So you can go check that as well. And then, yeah, my finale of Baldur's Gate 3 is coming up this week. We'll do, I think, basically the Tuesday is kind of the like lead up to the final battle, and then Thursday is the final battle and the epilogue, the new epilogue. So yeah, go check out that if you've been following along that series. YouTube.com/thatnerdysite. And then yeah, happy holiday and all that fun stuff. We'll be back in the new year with our game of the year, our movie of the year, our other things of the year kind of conversations and all that stuff. So stay tuned for all of that. If you like what you heard, once again, please remember to rate, review, like, subscribe, share the podcast with your friends anywhere you can. You follow all of us over at That Nerdy Site or go to thatnerdysite.com for all the latest content from us. Once again, thanks for listening. As always, stay nerdy and be good to each other.